Do you find yourself trying to find balance between ensuring the safety of your child with autism and allowing them the freedom to explore and grow? Today I'm sharing my experience on balancing safety and autism. So we're talking navigating safety and freedom for children with autism. Safety is crucial for any child, but for children with autism, due to their unique sensory processing, communication difficulties, and unpredictable behaviors, ensuring their safety becomes a constant priority. As a parent, I've developed a keen awareness of potential hazards both at home and in the outside world. So as far as safety, some of the things we look for is a safe environment, which that looks like child-proofing our home, making sure our son can't wander away, and removing any potential dangers from him. Then we talk about safe communication so that he is able to communicate with us and we're able to communicate with him, his teachers, his caregivers, and relatives. We talk to them all about safety. First of all, we want to make sure that he feels comfortable talking to them, but we also want them to understand what it looks like to keep him safe. When you're starting and establishing services with any therapy or schools or anything like that, they need to be brought up to speed as to the level of safety that's required for your child. This can be difficult at times, and I'll just do a little story time, if you will. When my son was looking at going to kindergarten, our biggest problem was finding an elementary school that would provide a paraprofessional. So that's someone that would be in the classroom with him, that would help him be able to follow the directions or really understand the directions, because he had never been in a classroom, traditional classroom. He'd been in preschool, but he had not been in a traditional classroom with 20-some students. He didn't know how to go to the lunchroom. That was going to be a safety concern, is going to a lunchroom and having to sit and manage his lunch and not wander off from the lunchroom because he is not interested in food, because like most children, he has issues with food. And we could not get a paraprofessional assigned to our child. We tried 2 different elementary schools before we determined that it would take us getting an advocate and a lawyer involved with the public school systems to get what our child needed. And instead of spending money on that, we decided to invest in a autism school, which is a private school here in Minnesota that was able to meet our child where he was at and provide all the safety requirements that we were looking for and way more. So that's my little story time for you. So starting with any school, a big thing is needing to keep them safe. And then those social interactions. So what your child is exposed to, who your child is exposed to, keeping them safe in all of those exposures is so important, and something that you're trying to navigate when you're thinking about safety versus freedom. When your child's out and you're just at the park, and how does that look for your child? Again, safety versus freedom. You want them to be able to independently play and so forth, but you need to keep a close eye on them because of things like stranger danger and what they understand as far as that. So while safety is a top priority, I recognize that my child deserves the opportunity to explore and experience the world just like any other child. That was one of the things that when we received the diagnosis, and we received a level 2 diagnosis for our son with ASD at the age of 3, we said that we wanted him to have the same experiences that any other child would receive. And we still don't take that lightly. We still think about that constantly and what that looks like and what accommodations we can make to allow him the opportunities that everyone else is receiving around him. So encouraging freedom is essential for his personal growth, independence, and his self-confidence, because he doesn't want to necessarily be left behind. Sometimes he does choose that, and that's okay. We allow him that option and the opportunity to participate or not participate. But We will sometimes look for inclusive activities if we know something is hard. So for example, we have done the movie theater, but because of how loud the movie theaters are, that can sometimes be difficult and a little bit triggering. So we can look for an inclusive showing or an adaptive showing for him so that we can just kind of meet him where he's at. Same thing with other activities. Something really fun is tubing behind a boat. Just something that we do here in Minnesota all the time. All his cousins love tubing. His aunt pulls him behind her boat, and she has a tube that is fully enclosed on the bottom so that he is supported. He gets to sit in the middle. He's got like the tube all around him, so he feels safe and secure, and she goes nice and slow, and it's perfect. It's great. All the other kids just love that my son gets to be included, and their cousin is out there and having fun and getting a new experience. And then gradual exposure too. Sometimes he is interested in the jet ski, for example, but he's a little leery of it. He went on it once, he liked it, but now he's not so sure. So we just keep exposing and keep showing him it's safe. There's a lot of different things that he likes to just sit back and observe. And we're giving him that control of saying, no, I don't want to do this right now, but constantly asking and suggesting that when he's ready, he can do it. I don't want to do it yet. That's some language that we've learned, is that we learned it about food, that I don't like it yet. I'm not ready to try it yet as far as food goes. And we have used that in other scenarios as well, that, okay, that's okay. You're not ready to try it yet, but we can try it again another time, or we'll think about it later. So in addition, with freedom comes independence. A big one for us is getting our son in a position where he can do things on his own. A lot of that starts with, I guess, self-care. Grooming, dressing, toileting, all of the things that kids start to do at a much younger age for neurotypical kids, but children with autism typically takes them a little bit longer, which is totally fine. Part of us as parents, we like to hit the easy button, if you will, and we're like, oh, it'll just be quicker if I jump in and do it. But it may be quicker, but we're not fostering that independence, and we're not providing for that freedom and the independence where we can. So taking that step back and thinking, here's an opportunity, has nothing to do with safety. It has everything to do with letting him feel independence, and he has the freedom to do it on his own, and just letting him step in and do those things. And then embracing the differences. In the beginning we said, there's nothing he's not going to be able to do, and he's going to be just like everyone else. But the reality is we needed to embrace his uniqueness and the differences that he has, and that has been so empowering. One of my cousins and mentors, she's been amazing. She's like, he is a teacher. You become a teacher. You learn so much from him, and you can teach so much to so many. And I think that was so eye-opening for me, and such a great perspective as far as like becoming an autism parent and really embracing the diagnosis, because I can't change it. I can only accept it and then just like lean into it, I guess, and lean into his strengths and work on the weaknesses. And that's really what we've tried to do. And so this has just been a great opportunity for growth and learning for not only him, but for all of us. And really, there hasn't been many limitations. There's been doors opened. We went to Disney World, and just, it was like the things that he did that I never thought he would do. He went on roller coasters. He did everything that all of us did. There wasn't anything he didn't do. It was just an amazing experience. And I was worried about regulation, being dysregulated, but we made some changes. We did some adjustments. We took some breaks here and there that you probably wouldn't normally take, but it was enough that it worked beautifully. At the end of the day, we jumped in the swimming pool, which really helped his body just kind of decompress from all of the stimulation he had all day, and he was able to go multiple days in a row, which now looking back on it and where he's at today, I think, God, how did his body go through that? Because one super busy, dysregulated day at home, and the next day he's just done for. So I just embrace how amazing that when we just let go sometimes and lean into things, it will work out for the best. So yeah, the journey is just, it's a balancing act, and it's not without its challenges. But if you constantly evaluate and you're flexible and you're willing to adapt, then your child is going to thrive, and so will you. So as a parent, it is essential to strike that balance that's unique to your son's needs and strengths. So remember to be open-minded, and self-care. I talk about it in another video about self-care and stuff, but really, if you're taking care of yourself, you're able to better take care of your child. So in closing today, I just want to say, as a parent of a child with autism, I will personally always struggle to strike that balance between safety and freedom. I want my son to flourish, learn, and grow while being safeguarded from unnecessary risks. I hope, though, my experience helps you sort through your feelings and emotions on the topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How do you balance safety and freedom for your child with autism? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what works for you. And as always, hit the subscribe button if you like this material. Give me a thumbs up. I'd love to see more of you. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video helps. Take care.